So I'd like to welcome Nancy Lindgren today. Thank you.
Well, thanks. It's fun to be back here. It's been, I don't know how many years now, at least 10, 15, I don't know. But anyway, I was a minister here for 4 years, 4.5, and was grateful to be a part of a lot of wonderful ceremonies, and Jim and I did the toning service quite often together, and lots of full moons and solstices and equinoxes and Sunday morning services and so many great celebrations here. So it's fun to be back. I had a sad thing happen where I was a part of a memorial service here for a little baby that died, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago. And Gary came up to me after I did that memorial, and he said, "Hey, would you like to speak at the church?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Well, our theme is on being true to ourselves." And I was like, "Okay, I'm down with that." And I was absolutely delighted because being true to myself has been one of my biggest challenges and also one of my biggest joys. And it's what my work is about as a healer and a counselor and a minister, to assist in releasing the blockages that stop people from living in their truth and living in their joy and letting the love be received and given out from that place of our centeredness. As a counselor, I work with people in clearing those things that are causing them stress, clearing those beliefs that are in the way, that are stopping people from being in their fullness. As a healer, watching and seeing the blockages and helping clear the blockages out of the body and rebalancing systems in the body. And as a minister, mainly I do a lot of work with Jim's company, Minnesota Officiants, and helping people create the kinds of weddings that are a true expression of them, and other ceremonies like baptisms, baby blessings, and memorial services. And I swear I've never done the same memorial service twice. I mean, I really need to, I think it's important to let that true expression of what people want to come through and to let it be their own unique, ceremony. And there's a lot of people that, when I work with couples, sometimes they're like, well, we come from, we're both Catholic, and, and they're scared to really, but we're not Catholic and we don't go to church anymore, but we want something spiritual. Hear that a lot. But, and they're scared to really let their own selves come through and to let their own, pick this reading and this thing and that, that's a real reflection of them. I notice that with some people. It's really interesting. So to help people really get into what it is they want, and help them really have it be an expression of their own values is important. I quote Rumi, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourselves that have built against it." I'm sure many of you have heard this quote. And I believe that when we're being true to ourselves, we're clear, radiant, and unencumbered from our past messages and beliefs that hold us back. We pick up positive and negative messages from our parents, our teachers, society, and other influences along the way. And beliefs can cement in our systems, and some of those beliefs can stop us from being our true selves. And they create low self-esteem, and we act from those parts of ourselves. We act little. We don't go out to where we really want to be. We wish we could be like that person over there, or wish I could express myself like this or that. And I'm speaking mainly from my own experience, because it's taken me forever to really be my own authentic self. It's been a long, arduous path, and I'm so grateful to be here. I remember standing here 18, maybe 15 years ago and saying, "Isn't it wonderful that we have a place where we can really be ourselves?" and to really express what we want to, and sing our own song, and sing from our own hearts, and sing from our spirits, and be who we want here. And I still feel that sense of freedom, and I'm still grateful for that. So getting back to what I was just saying about, those places that create the blockages, it's because we're scared, because we're still acting from that belief. It's because we're still stuck. It's because we're not able to move beyond that place. Like Rumi said, those barriers that we need to remove within ourselves to be that love that we are. And it's the blockages that are the basis of all therapy, counseling, and healing ourselves, to find those places within that are holding those limiting beliefs that are stemming from the pain that we've suffered along the way. I guess I'm kind of focused on that because that's what I do in my work mainly throughout the day, is help people clear those places that are stuck within them, those places that are causing them pain and stress. And so when I started on my more seriously on my spiritual healing path, I owned a house cleaning service. It was one of the first environmentally safe house cleaning services in Minneapolis. And all the while, I was studying intuition and healing and all of those kinds of things. And this was like 30 years ago. My classes started to really pick up speed when I entered a program with Ron Moore for certification as a healer and then become an ordained minister. And I was just fine as long as it was an avocation. I was really happy. I was with my people, taking all these classes and learning how to do healings and, all of these kinds of things. And then I owned this house cleaning service and, I'd be out, there's the famous question, so what do you do? And it depended on who I was with. I'd say, I own a house cleaning service if I was with somebody that I felt like too nervous about saying, well, I'm learning how to become a healer. And then if I was with people that were more open, I'd say, well, I'm learning how to become a healer, and so it was which card am I going to pull out, the healing one or the house cleaning one, and I still kind of do that once in a while. I was with a doctor recently. He goes, so what do you do for your work? And I said, I'm a counselor. It just depends, because here he's this doctor, and you know what I mean? I notice that I still get afraid of the judgment out there about being an energy healer. So I'm getting more bold, and sometimes I say I'm an energy healer and do healing touch and so on, and it's kind of an interesting journey. I'm still doing it, so when Gary asked me this, I'm like, I still have a hard time with it, and I'm also very proud and happy that this is what I do. But back then, being a healer was even weirder. So it was hard to talk about at holiday dinners with family, I never knew who would really accept me for who I was. The judgments, can be very harsh about this kind of work. But I realized what I needed to do was accept me, and to embrace that part of myself, and to love myself through this whole thing, and to say, you know what? My heart and my soul are truly in alignment with this, and this is what makes my heart sing. And I think that's the clue, is what makes your heart sing in the middle of your center of who we are, is, and that's where we need to go. That's what we need to do. And I think following that, sometimes we get these messages as, oh, you're never going to make any money doing that, or, oh, you're never going to be happy doing that, or you can't make any, a living, all of these messages that we get from people, and we have to just listen to what our heart wants and what doors are opening up for us to become what we want to be. Brené Brown says, owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy, the experiences that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we're brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of the light, of our light. And You know, there's a zillion ways to run from our stories, and there's a zillion more ways to run to it, and let it unfold, and stand in our center, and embrace our pain, and also shine our light. It takes a lot of courage to grow and clear the pain that holds us back. Shame, blame, disrespect, betrayal, and the withholding of affection damage the roots from which love grows. Love can only survive these injuries if those things are acknowledged and healed. That's another Brené Brown quote, and I just love her because she really gets at the truth of the matter of what holds us back. And she's written and spoken, and she's got some phenomenal things that she says about shame and what holds us back and what we need to do. So I found it worthwhile to spend the time going within to clear out all of the things that needed healing. It was really scary. It took a lot of courage, and each time I've gone within to do the healing, it's made my life richer, and I've found freedom and peace. And I'm able to stand a little bit more closer to my center each time. I'm able to shine my light a little bit more each time. So, way back when, after I had my first Reiki attunements, I think it was like 25 years ago, I had this dream. And I was out in the front yard of our home, and I was weeding the garden, and I bent over, and there was this plant about this big, and why I was weeding this one, I'll never know, but it was a fuchsia flowering, gorgeous plant. And I got my hands kind of at the base, and I remember this dream like it happened last night. I got my hands at the base of this plant, and I was, trying to get it kind of nice and firm, but soft, and I was wiggling it back and forth a little and pulling and wiggling back and forth because I didn't want the roots to break off. You know how when you weed, you don't want to leave the roots because they'll just grow bigger, right? And so I'm wiggling this thing, and I pull it out really kind of slow and gentle, and I'm holding it up, and I'm looking at this big, deep taproot and all these little other roots around it. And then I lay it down, and as I let my hands go, all these butterflies were packed in at the base of the plant, and all these butterflies started fluttering all around me and flying all over, and there was just tons of them. There was just like over 100 of them. And all these little butterflies were around me, and I just stood there in awe and amazement. And, I love to look at my dreams and listen to them and try to figure out what they mean. And I had just taken my first, Reiki attunements, and it was a sign for me that I was really getting to the root of who I was. And I was experiencing this freedom and this joy. And yeah, it was one of those medicine dreams. And so I think it's really important, to listen to our dreams and to look at the symbols of all those things that are showing us our way and giving us like, hey, go for it, you're on the right track kind of thing, So if we look around our life, we can see the symbols everywhere, the ways which we're being in and a lot of out of alignment with our truth. It takes clarity to look at the truth, and then courage to carry out the things that we're being called to do and change and heal. And, we can either have the courage to go into it, the only way around is through, and it's not always easy, or we can avoid it by doing any thousands of addictive things that we can do in this society we have, running away from ourselves. But if we look around our life, we can, as I just said, see the symbols everywhere of the ways that we're being pulled into a deeper sense of ourselves. Our bodies have a powerful system that will give us signals as to whether we're on track with our truth. Our minds will give us messages through our thoughts, and our emotions will usually be pretty clear in letting us know how we're doing. And finally, our intuition will be that constant guide, giving us messages and dreams and guiding us to the right people and right places and things for our highest good. It's really worth it to step into our true selves. It's worth it to muster up the courage to let go of what's in the way and be our shining radiant light. And that one line from Mary Oliver's poem, "What are you going to do with your one wild and precious life?" I love that one. I'm coming up on a really big birthday, and there was a part of me that was like, oh my God, I'm going to be 60, and I haven't done this yet, I haven't done that yet. I was listing all these things that I haven't done that I thought I should be doing by now. And then I looked around, I went, well, I'm only going to be 60. It's like, why let that be the stopping point? Like, well, if there were beliefs that I had in there that were like, well, if you haven't done it by now, you may as well just forget it, And I just had all this stuff coming up, and I thought, well, this is ridiculous. I've got friends that are in their 70s that are just full stream ahead in their careers and having a good time, and, looking at some of those role models around me and realizing that, I have a lot of vitality. I'm in pretty good shape here. I've got lots of life left in me. It doesn't mean it has to be over just because I haven't written that book yet or, put myself out there in bigger ways. There's always time to do it. So, anyway, what are we going to do with our one wild and precious life? There's always more time to express our fullness. And so I think I'll end with that, and maybe we can go into meditation. Unless anybody has any questions or comments, we've got plenty of time for that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thanks. Any other questions or comments or anything? Well, I think we can get started with our meditation music. And I'm going to sit for this. So if we could just close our eyes and get centered. And bring your attention into your body. And just allow yourself to be. And let yourself be in your center, the core of who you are. And find that core of you and that radiant light that you are. Well, we're going to take some time to allow yourselves to acknowledge all of those places within you that are your true self. Stepping over and beyond the programming, beliefs and judgments from your past. And notice your breathing as your breath just seems to breathe your body automatically. And feel the growing appreciation of who you are as a luminous presence of energy. And let's just open to the higher dimensional insights that are here for us today. And breathe in peace and serenity. Really letting go and trusting this moment to hold you and just being presence as you relax into deeper states and go within. And allow your inner senses and wisdom to awaken and guide you. We all have several roles that we play, places that we act from in the world. Think of all the roles that you play. We are born a son or a daughter. Perhaps you're a sister or a brother, mother or father, boss, employee, neighbor, friend. Think of all those roles that we act from in a day. And notice how your light shines through all of those roles. All of those places that you are. Whether you're simply a customer at the gas station, saying hello and connecting in a meaningful way. Or whether you're with somebody you're close with, sharing deep places within you. So notice your light and how it shines. And allow yourself to be immersed in the truth of who you really are. And allow wisdom and clarity, love and peace to fill you. And notice as you are within, are there any places that are impeding your flow? Any things that are inside that are blocking you from fulfilling your dreams and really expressing your truth? Acknowledge those parts too, knowing that they're important to release in some way. And meet them with love. Is there a belief that you hold that isn't true? Call into your body the healing and restoring energies, the loving energy of the universe that is supporting you right now. Bringing harmony into all of those parts of you. Trust yourself. Call into your body the healing and restoring energies, the loving energy of the universe that is supporting you right now, bringing harmony into all of those parts of you. Let's take a moment to open up the flow of all of the subtle energy channels and bringing in the free flow of beneficial light energy into every part of you. Especially those parts that feel tired, sore, and depleted. And let this energy assist you in attracting the resources you need. And if you found a place inside that needs some attention, let's take a moment and ask for help. And the spiritual support that's here to surround you with light. And can guide you to what you need. Can guide you to the resources that you need. And listen to the wisdom at the core of your true self. And breathe wisdom and enlightenment into every cell of your body. and release into the fullness of who you are. And just allow yourself to feel the strength to face every challenge that you have with courage. And know that your life is blessed and guided by infinite intelligence. Well, I think that we should all end with 3 ohms today. And keep in mind that whether you're at the gas station or standing in your truth somewhere else that's in a bigger way, don't be afraid to let your light shine this week. Have a good week, everybody.